All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Athlete Artist Show. I am the artist Kyle Forge alongside the athlete, professional hockey player, Zach Boychuk. Chucky, you've been going through preseason the last couple weeks, training camp. Finally just had your first regular season game with a new team. Big, you guys pumped them. I think it was 8-1 was the final, 8-1 or 8 rip. How did it feel getting back to regular season hockey now that I guess we're about halfway through September now. Time sure flying into fall after that summer, but yeah, how's it feel? How were the fans? Was it a home game? I think it was a home game I saw. So how are the new fans in this league and this team, and what's it feel like to be back to it?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Obviously, wearing the Olympia Ljubljana green. We're the Dragons, so it's a pretty exciting first game. Preseason was long. It's not like the NHL training camp where it's 2 weeks. Over here it's 6 weeks, and I was here even earlier before that, beginning of July. And to go through all that, some tough workouts, tough practices. We played 3 games in 3 days the 1 week. Just to get through the preseason, it's always a great feeling. And then there's always some nerves for that first game. I feel like we were kind of feeling out Vienna, the team from Austria, and it was close first period. I think it was like 1-1 or 2-1, and then we just started scoring and playing our game. So it was great to get a huge win the first weekend in front of our home fans, and that place was rocking. I'd love to see more of that, more fans coming out.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a smaller barn than Uber Place or Uber Arena out in Berlin, hey. But it seems like from what it seems like from what I've seen online and social media and stuff, it's like it's kind of smaller in the sense of those really intimate like overseas arenas where the fans are kind of right on top of you almost. So like if the fans get rocking in there, it get really, really loud, eh?
Yeah, no, for sure. And they were standing like a lot of the game. They had their chants going. The goalie on our team has a little like show at the end. They call I don't know if it's called the Hori show or Lucas Horak. They play a song for him that says Hori on fire, and just little atmosphere, little stuff like that. And yeah, you could pretty much see everybody in the building. They're right on top of you, and yeah, it's not a $15,000 or $20,000 arena or 20,000 seat arena like Berlin or like the NHL, but a small town like this, it's pretty cool, and it was almost fully packed last night.
Do they get as wild as the Berlin fans did? Because I know they had like signs and horns. They had their own chances too, or is it like? I know I've been seeing videos of like some like the Serbian basketball leagues and stuff like that are like, or even I think in Slovenia, because isn't Slovenia pretty big for basketball too? Like those fans out there can get pretty rowdy, like lighting off fireworks and shit in the arena.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. They love their basketball here, and obviously Luka Doncic from the Lakers is from here and from Ljubljana, so a lot of people see him around during the summertime. And But
he's from right in Ljubljana.
Yeah,
That's
he's from here. So I guess him and Kopitar are pretty good buddies when they're hanging out in LA. So both Slovenian guys found their way in California, which is kind of a crazy coincidence. But the fans, they have a full cheering section. They have their chants. It seems like the more we win, the more success we have. I'm sure the louder and busier it gets. So great to start off with an 8-1 win.
And you've been putting up some points already. I mean, all through preseason, you were scoring. I think you got an assist at least in that 8-1 win for regular season. Like, how are you feeling out there? And it seems like you're playing first line minutes too. So I know you said it in preseason, they were kind of rolling lines, letting everybody get their touches and get their ice time and stuff. But now that you're in the regular season, how does it feel to be out there playing first line minutes at 35?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the 3 games in 3 days was a little tough to play the first line minutes, but luckily, yeah, we were kind of rolling 4 lines, and we do have like a really tough system. We're really aggressive, and we kind of have to play 4 lines. So I think yesterday, even though it was a big game, first regular season game, we were kind of rolling, and all four lines played. A lot of good plays by all the lines, and I think that's kind of the way we have to play with our system. So, but it's always nice, getting the nod out there for the first power play, and we went 1-for-1 right away on the power play, and then the next power play we got the other unit scored too. So we're 100% on the power play right now, and great to get the first win. Obviously, my son got to see my first preseason game, and
Oh
wife was
yeah.
there, and yeah, it was a rocking building. Even though it's kind of a crazy building, it's kind of well known like throughout the league that like the first month or 2 months, it's really foggy in there. Like you can't you
Okay.
basically if they don't have the fans going and they don't have like airflow, there's so much humidity and so much fog. You like all the like glass, the windows fog up. You can barely you can barely see some of the opponents and some of the pucks like at night if you're practicing. So we got through that tough ice conditions, but yeah, nice to score some goals and get the confidence up early.
That sounds like some Mighty Ducks type shit for the arena. Just the fog,
Mm-hmm.
this for the extra added visual effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll have that for the first, I think, month or two, and then once the humidity goes down, the heat goes down, it'll be a little bit more chill, and the ice will be a little bit better. But yeah, you have to get used to it as a road team coming into this arena. The fog is something different.
How'd your son like the first game? Obviously, he's still pretty young, but was he pretty calm there, or did it seem like he was freaked out with the noise, or how was it?
Yeah, like the preseason games were pretty good. It was a little bit more quiet, and there was a little bit more accessible or whatever for the VIP. But this one, all the VIPs were completely sold out. Obviously all the fans were in the building rocking, and it was pretty loud. So I think he made it through the first two periods. We have to remember to bring the big headphones for him to,
Oh
to, to
yeah,
keep him a little bit more relaxed. But there was a lot going on, and night game, and but nice to get him there anyways for a couple periods and see some hockey.
that's awesome. Did you get like a cute picture on the glass with him or anything, like during
That's
warmups?
the next step. We
Yeah.
we, we got to work on that. I don't know if fans are allowed right at the glass level, so I got
Oh
to see
really?
if there's like a special circumstance where the kids can come in, and but yeah, like after a win, a lot of guys bring their kids on the ice and stuff like that. So we'll get a moment like that for them if we keep winning some games.
Do the seats not go all the way down to the glass in that barn?
No, it kind of stops right before the benches. So there's a little bit
Uh,
of a space. And I think maybe on the other side, it's a little bit closer to the glass. But yeah, it's an old arena. They probably wouldn't build them like that anymore, but a little different setup. And there's so many different things in this building. Like there's like you go down the hall, there's like a handball or basketball arena. You go there's right outside. There's pickleball courts. There's paddle tennis courts. There's like this. It's like there's a swimming pool right across the street. So it's
oh
like
wow.
a whole like complex where the whole town comes. There's a couple bars, the restaurants. They had like a big fan zone where there was like a live band and people performing before. So it's a really cool. It's an old arena, but they did a good job making it kind of like a community center where everybody comes down and can pick a different sport and see what they want to do.
That's pretty cool. So it's very like community based then, which is sweet for like a small town, especially like Euro hockey like that. It's very I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked about it a lot in the last 5 years. Those fans can get absolutely wild over there. So that's pretty cool that it's an intimate setting like that, and there's something for everybody.
Yeah, and it helps the bars in the city too. I think like we got a big win like that. You could tell
Oh
the
yeah,
bar that was connected to the arena was just packed with people celebrating and having a good time. And there's some nice restaurants across the street, and it's a 5 minute walk to downtown. So it was a good Friday night to get the Ljubljana community excited.
How many games a week are you guys playing in regular season normally?
It's typically like 2 games a week. I I feel like a decent amount is you get 2 home games, and then the next week you might get 2 road games. But um, we have these really big games coming up. They're like the Slovenian championship games. I don't know if I've talked about it on this
No.
podcast before, but there's a town like 45 minutes to an hour away, and it's us and them that are like the big dogs of Slovenia, and we kind of play our own like 5 game series. So there's like a round robin. Whoever finishes the best in the round robin, you play a 5 game series in January for the Slovenian Cup. So those games will be really busy and really rocking.
That's dope. Is the other team pretty good?
I think they're like in another league. They're pretty solid for their league. I think we're like definitely a couple steps up. So we're like there's a lot of pressure on us to win, but there's been some good games over the years. But we got to win so we can celebrate in January and have a little playoff celebration. And the guys are talking like, yeah, you get a little like trophy on your elite prospects. It adds to your
really?
There's a Slovenian Cup trophy, so you want that for your resume for
That's
another
awesome.
win, hopefully for me.
That's awesome. You can pick up a ring halfway through the season.
Yeah, we'll try and talk to the owner, see if he can get us some Slovenian championship rings.
That would be unreal, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys go through this season and see you on a new team. I mean, I've been seeing comments of still old fans from Berlin that are like, "Man, it's still so weird seeing you in a jersey that isn't Berlin." It's like it still feels like a crime, but I mean, it still seems like your old fans from Germany are still supporting you, which is nice.
Yeah, they always comment like once an ice bear, always an ice bear. Like it's kind of their thing. And I was lucky enough. I got to go see their Champions League game. They lost to one of the Austrian teams, but I got to see a few of those guys, a couple of weeks ago, and then they just had their ring ceremony, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday, and they opened up the season a big 6-2 win against Dresden, which is a new team that came up to Germany. So I'm sure Germany or Berlin will have another good chance at win the title, and I'll still be following them and keep in touch with those guys and some fans. But yeah, it seems like all the fans are so good and rooting for me to have success over here in the new league.
How are you going to get your ring from Berlin? Are they going to ship it to you, or what's the process there?
I wanted to go to the ring ceremony. It probably could have worked out because it was like a Wednesday and we didn't play till Friday, but the travel to get there and it's kind of one night. I'd probably have to miss a practice on a Thursday, which is the day before a game. So it just kind of didn't make sense. So at some point I'll meet up with the GM or one of the other guys and get my fourth ring and add it to the collection.
That's unreal, man. Yeah, that's super cool. Are you tired of the same old online casinos with their complicated rules, slow withdrawals, and measly bonuses? Well, let us introduce you to Flagman, the platform that's leading the way with a truly player-first experience. Here's what makes Flagman the new standard. Register in just one click and you're instantly greeted with a massive 225% welcome pack with up to 500 free spins. Once you're in, you'll get a weekly cash back up to 20%, enjoy fast withdrawals with zero commission, and play over 6,500 games with high RTP. Plus, Flagman keeps it fun and rewarding with a personalized player dashboard, exclusive stories with the latest promos, and even a birthday gift just for you. No limits, no nonsense, just premium gaming. Ready to play the way you deserve? Visit Flagman Casino and use the promo code AAS to claim your exclusive welcome offer. Other hockey news, I mean, you guys are hitting regular season now. NHL is still in the rookie kind of prospects, but I think one of the bigger signings or re-signings, Dustin Wolf, Calgary Flames, re-signed for 7 years, just over $7 million, which is in a few years is going to be a pretty team-friendly deal for the Flames if he ends up being what everybody thinks he's going to be. But especially with the salary caps going up, and you look at other goalies in the league getting $10 million deals, and it's a $10 million plus $1 million deals. It's like that's in 7 years, that's going to be a pretty crazy contract.
Yeah, it's great to see a guy that wants to stay in Calgary finally. It's
Yeah.
obviously he's still young. He's on a pretty low contract with his rookies, and coming in, obviously he wanted to sign that extension right away going into his final year. But it's good to see. I think Conroy did a good job getting him at a reasonable number. You want to get some other guys to help him out and play around him. So we'll see if Anderson gets traded, brings in some other core guys, and I think the future is bright if they can. Maybe I still think they need to tank and try and get McKenna or try and get some high draft picks and maybe make some more trades. But that's a good step in the right direction to get Wolfie.
Yeah, it's still don't know what's going to happen with Anderson. Heard different rumors. Like, I think there was a rumor or something that he was holding it up, and he came out and said, I'm absolutely not doing that. Like, I wouldn't hold up the team by being difficult, basically. Kaprizov is another one that's kind of floating around. People are like, where is he going to go? He's got 1 year left on his deal. There was a rumor that he rejected a $128 million offer from Minnesota, which I guess his agent, or sorry, the general manager came out and said there was no legitimacy to that, but who knows what's actually true there. I've heard that he could be interested in going to Chicago. I've been seeing comments and rumors and stuff like that. I mean, imagine Kaprizov in Chicago with Bedard and whoever else they can get over there. Like, that would be a pretty big step up for Chicago.
Yeah, I'd love to see him go somewhere like Chicago. Obviously, Minnesota is going to do everything in their power to get him back.
Yeah.
But yeah, $16 million per year. You got to think if he gets that, what's McDavid going to get? He should be re-signing him pretty soon too. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Obviously, there's some holdouts or some funny business. I don't know. To have some big reporters reporting that and then saying that it's not true, it's kind of crazy.
And there's been a bunch of stuff going on with McDavid too, where there was rumors that he's looking to re-sign 3-4 years in Edmonton, which I think if he was to re-sign there, a smaller term is obviously better for him. But that he comes out in an interview and because someone asked him, like, is everything on the table? Like, is short term on the table? And he's like, yeah, long term, short term, no term. So I think that got a bunch of Oilers fans just in a tizzy. Like, what do you mean no term? Like, is he really leaving us? Like, that probably ignited a bunch of fires in the media. I saw that. I was like, oh fuck, like he might actually leave.
People are just hanging on every single word that he's saying in the media right now. They just want to know that they wish he was signed already. So I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. He's going to have to watch what he says because people are really looking closely into it, and I think he wants to make the right decision. I think he's gonna stay for a couple of years, and then the cap's gonna go up, and he'll be able to make that final decision in a couple of years whether he wants to stay long term, whether Edmonton's still a contender by that point. Obviously, they still are right now, and I think it'd be crazy if he left. Draisaitl kind of left him hanging, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting situation to see unfold. Something I didn't expect: Marc-Andre Fleury signed a PTO with Pittsburgh to play one preseason game with them against Columbus here at the end of the month. But kind of cool to see him get back out there on the ice with Pittsburgh. He hasn't been in a Pittsburgh uniform in a long time, and obviously, as everybody knows, he retired after last season, but he's already coming back for a preseason game, so maybe it'll spark something in him, or maybe it'll get him on the Olympic team. Who knows?
Yeah, imagine he just plays so good in that preseason game and just decides to keep it going for another year or two.
That would be hilarious.
Makes the Olympic team as a third goalie. That'd be great.
I still think, and I think I've said this a few times on the podcast, I think I've said it to you privately as well, but I think they need to bring him on the Olympic team just purely as one, out of respect, but as a locker room guy too, because like it's hard to beat a room guy like Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, it's not even close. He brings out the good vibes, and he obviously won a couple cups, and maybe he wasn't starting all three of those cups, but to have him in your locker room, it's huge.
Hasn't he's won an Olympic gold before too, hasn't he?
I don't know if he has. I think that might be the only one that he's missing, or maybe he's missing the World Championship one, which was this year. They ended up losing in the quarters, but maybe he was on the as a third goalie or something on that Olympic team in Vancouver, or was there one in 2014?
Yeah, 2010 Vancouver. You're right.
2010, he was with
Yeah.
Luongo and Brodeur and Fleury must have been there.
Yeah, he didn't play any of the games, but he was part of the team. So yeah, he was third goalie. So I mean, bring him back as a room guy.
Yeah. I mean, it worked in 2010. It should work in 2026.
Yeah,
2026.
2026 it'll be. Yeah, which is crazy. What else we got here? Atlanta, they're pushing another team in Atlanta right now, which is kind of insane to me. But
So trying to get, yeah, I'd rather go back to Arizona. Find a way to get to Arizona. Find a way to get to Quebec or maybe Houston, Texas. Put another team in Toronto. I don't know if Atlanta is the play, but
I don't think Atlanta's the play. I don't think Toronto's the play either.
Maybe not.
I think Arizona though for sure. But better ownership. Like that city, I think wants hockey. They just had such bad owners that
and a new location for the rink too.
Yeah,
which would be huge. But
yeah,
they're doing okay in Utah. It seems like the team likes it there.
We just mentioned Chicago potentially getting Kaprizov, but they also just re-signed Spencer Knight to a 3-year, $17.5 million extension. So they've got their hopefully a star goalie that'll kind of if he can stay healthy, he should be pretty good. He was always he was a pretty big prospect coming up, and then obviously had his struggles in Florida, but I think he's got a lot of potential. So he's kind of one of those young guys that'll be up there competing with Dustin Wolf. I think Dustin Wolf is just a little bit more elite than Spencer Knight is, but if Knight can like I said, stay healthy and find his groove in Chicago, I think he should be a pretty good value to that team.
Yeah, that's a good signing by Chicago. I think he's going to be good long term, and it'd just be nice to get more guys there to play with Bedard. I still think it's crazy that they passed up on Demidov a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I feel like if he was there, Bedard was there, they somehow get Kaprizov. Obviously they didn't end up getting Celebrini either, but oh man, like that team could be looking really good in the future, but it's kind of unknown right now.
Another re-signing we forgot to mention with the Flames when we were talking about Wolfie is Connor Zary finally re-signed 3 years, 3.775, which I think is a pretty solid re-signing for Zary as kind of a bridge deal to see how he does over the next 3 years. There were rumors that he might be getting traded that I kept seeing, which I thought would have been a mistake. I think I said it 2 weeks ago on the show that I wasn't sure why they hadn't re-signed him yet. I think it was a pretty big no-brainer from the Flames side. He's one of their kind of star young guys that I think they need over the next few years as he develops. And I think he'll do pretty well with guys like Coronado and Wolfie obviously on the back end, and kind of be one of those guys that will take the reins from these older guys like Kadri and Hubie.
Yeah, he was huge. I'm surprised we didn't mention him as part of the core. Like obviously, you're gonna need guys like that and Coronado, and whether Kadri is gonna be there or Anderson or half of these other guys. I think at some point you're probably looking to move on from a couple different guys, especially the older guys, and you're not giving long-term deals anymore. So good to get Wolf and Zari and Coronado. All these young guys are getting locked up, and that's what you need to build around a core and build around your future.
For sure, yeah. And he's obviously played parts of 2 seasons with Calgary now, so hopefully this year he'll be healthy all the way through and will be able to kind of take another step in the direction of what he could potentially be as an offensive guy. Will he be 100-point guy? Maybe not, but like he could probably be like a 60 to 80-point guy, which I mean it'd be great if the Flames could get someone that is a solid point per game player, since we haven't had anyone like that in a while. But I mean, a guy at 3.775 for the next 3 years, if you're getting a guy at that price range getting 60 to 80 points, like that's a pretty solid deal. You can't really complain about that.
Yeah, especially if he's playing a ton in the top six, probably
Yeah.
gonna get some power play minutes, and I could definitely see him scoring, 25 to 35 goals if he's playing with
For
the
sure.
right guys. So we'll see how that deal turns out. So far, it looks like a really good team friendly deal to me.
Yeah, those are two, and I know I complain about the Flames all the time. I always give management a hard time, but those are two really good re-signings from Conroy with Wolfie and Zeri at those price points too. Like I don't think you can really beat that for those guys for where they're at and where they could be. Those are two deals that could work out really well.
Yeah, and you got Perek coming in. He's going to be the PP guy, and the other part of the core, especially on defense. And well, you just got to see what they do with Backlund, Uyghur, Kadri, Coleman. Like a lot of these other guys, they're kind of probably past their primes, past their points of being the core guys. But we'll see. Maybe they'll have a great year this year. They'll make the playoffs, and they were only 1 point out last year. So
yeah, you can get rid of all those guys besides Coleman, if you ask me. But yeah, those are.
Well, Backlund, he's the captain.
He shouldn't even be the captain. Get rid of him. Get him out of here.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, two good signings from the Flames. 2 steps in the right direction, which is rare. Yeah, and then I think that's a lot of the updates that we have for hockey news this week. Unless you have something else to touch on before we get out of here.
No, I did think that one late Hudson's dad, like talking about possibly going to Team Canada. I think that's hilarious that he's saying that. Kind of like what Brett Hull did back in the day, switching from Canada to the U.S. But funny that he got snubbed from that big long list of American, defenders or American guys to make the Olympic team.
Yeah, one, crazy that he got snubbed. 2, as if your dad is going out being like, yo, yeah, we might go to Team Canada. Like, imagine if you're Lane Hudson, you're just like, Dad, like, what are you doing? Like, that can't.
You see, Marchand was like, get this guy under control.
Yeah.
Put on his Instagram.
Literally, like, you can't do that. It's one thing for like us to talk shit and talk about it, but when it's like a player's dad who's like, this kid's got to go to the locker room like every week, every day now, it's like, fuck, that can cause a stir within your own team, and then obviously, it probably doesn't help your chances to end up getting an invite to the Olympics.
Yeah, he better not say anything bad about the Habs, because those fans will be all over him.
Oh man,
the dad's saying anything about it.
He'll have to ban his dad from the arena if he says anything bad about there.
No more podcast, Dad.
No more podcast. Yeah. Was it even a podcast, or did he just post an Instagram video?
I don't know. I thought it was a podcast, but
was it?
He was like in his car when he was doing an interview or something. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know it was an interview. I thought he just made like a TikTok or an Instagram reel. I was like, that's even crazier.
Get this guy under control.
Yeah. We'll be able to see how kind of things play out in the NHL in the next few weeks. October regular season starts. We're going through preseason right now. Zach, like we said, you're in regular season now in your new team, new league. So we're excited to see how you end up doing there, and hopefully you guys get to. It sounds like you can get 2 championships this year if things go really well for you. So I'm excited to see you there. Excited and happy for you that your kid got to watch you play in your first game in your new team as well. And excited to see where things go.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, keep it going.
See everybody next week.
Peace.